hi everyone.
Hi, hello everyone. This is Alan Lambert and my name is Marilyn.
Sometimes known as Mayan.
Yes.
Mayan Barrett here. It's taken us a bit of time to get around to making this video. Hopefully it's not too long.
Yes.
But just a few weeks ago I lost a son in Thailand in a motorbike accident. He was only 47.
Yeah.
And I contacted Jeff Harvey of Down Under Visa,
Yep.
which we deal with all the time, over
Yeah.
many years actually. And he gave me some input and reassurance from his own experiences. And so that was very helpful. So now we're 3 weeks down the track from when that happened, and we're 5 days away from when we actually got our permanent visa.
Yeah.
And we thank Jeff,
Yeah.
and we thank Myla and Remy
Yeah.
and all the
staff.
crew
Yeah.
and Morris, who we dealt with personally towards the end
Yeah.
of this saga. And we just thanked them all, and we were absolutely amazed
Yeah.
when the visa actually came through. It began
Yeah.
when we had a tourist visa from the Philippines
Yep.
to Australia, provided by Jeff, of course, and the team. And that began then the first 3 months. We had a 12-month tourist visa, and you have to exit Australia every 3 months. This was before the virus.
Yep.
So in the first 3 months, we'd already been working on the visa for actually maybe over 12 months
Yeah.
back in the Philippines. Originally, we were going to do an offshore visa,
Yeah.
but then we decided, well, bite on the bullet,
Yep.
try and get a tourist visa, get over here, and get the visa application done in Australia.
Yes, yeah.
That way, my dearest here would not have to leave,
Yeah.
and she could be entitled to work
Yeah.
and Medicare and all the other benefits. Whereas if you stayed in the Philippines on an offshore visa,
Yeah.
you don't have any of those benefits until the actual visa is finally approved.
Yeah.
So we arrived here in January 2019,
19. Yeah.
and in April 2019
Yeah.
we put the application in for the permanent visa. That would be the 820
Yep.
and finally the 801.
Yes.
So from then, because myself personally, I was used to very warm weather, hot weather in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm from Sydney, so I could not take the winter in Sydney.
Yes. Very cold for me.
Very cold.
Yeah.
So we moved up to Queensland. I'm very glad we did that. And ever since the first year, we became residents of Queensland. Just to recap, we first met on Tagged while I was still in Australia
Yeah.
and she was still in Hong Kong
Yes.
working. And from that beginning, we eventually met up in August 2013
Yep.
in Malaysia,
Yeah.
where she went to start work in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And I have friends in Indonesia, so I always go through Kuala Lumpur
Yeah.
to go to Indonesia. And that's when I decided, right, well, we'll definitely meet up.
Yeah.
And that's when we met up. And
Yeah. We stayed there at
we
least.
stayed in Malaysia. We got together in Malaysia, and we stayed in Malaysia till 2015,
15.
when
We go back to Philippines.
I decided,
Yep.
to get her back to her family. in the Philippines. A very long story. She's many years away from the family and so on and so on. And I wanted her to have that relationship. I felt as the man I should do that too. So I fully supported her, which is what I think we should do as foreigners, and later on as sponsors. So we did that. We originally were going to apply while we were in Malaysia for the immigration to Australia for the visa, but it didn't work out that way. So we also, as I say, we didn't want to skip on Philippines, so we went to the Philippines. We actually started to buy a house in the Philippines, and our vision of coming to Australia sort of died a bit, really, because we were very happy there.
We enjoyed the Philippine life.
Of course, and I enjoyed the Philippine life.
And then that's why we met Jeff Harvey and then the Mrs.
Yeah, so I had a little bit of dealing with Jeff back in Malaysia when I first thought of getting an immigration visa for Marilyn. But like I said, that all died out. So later on, towards the end of biting on the bullet, we decided, first of all, would we get an offshore visa and still keep paying our house off and all the rest of it and enjoy our friends back in the Philippines. But then we sort of realized that if we could get a tourist visa to go to Australia, then part of the deal with the tourist visa is when you apply onshore in Australia, as many of you who are watching this video might know now, your partner is entitled to work and entitled to
I never did.
Medicare.
I never been work here, so maybe soon.
She's still a bought woman. No, so anyway, what it was is we thought, well, you know, there's more advantage to onshore visa, even though it seemed that the offshore visa technically could be a lot quicker. And of course that's what we really wanted in the beginning. But we're so glad that we did do the onshore visa, because like you know now, we've still got this virus both here in Australia and in the Philippines, sadly. And there's a lot of heartache. A lot of families are, you know, trying to get together. They're trying to get their children together with them and so on and so on. And partly this is why we thought of making this video, to encourage you. You know, my wife's still got two, well, they're sort of adult children now in the Philippines. And one of them has decided now they definitely don't want to come to Australia. They want to finish all their education in the Philippines. So that's fair enough. So anyway, make a long story short, Jeff very happily gave us a lot of advice, and we thought we'd apply onshore. And we started to really get into you know, doing the onshore preparation, rather than what happens in some cases. You get a tourist visa to Australia, and Jeff already warns about this, and he's got videos out about this. The danger is you're in a hurry and you want to apply, once you get to Australia, onshore, and you're in a big rush, and you've already got your relationship. It could be a very young relationship of only a couple of years or something, rather than a long one like ours has fairly worked out too. And you've got that to handle. You've got a young couple or a couple that are young in their marriage, and they've got all that stress, and they're trying to get it all done, and it's not that easy, and there's so much red tape that you've got to go through. Even in the Philippines, you've got to get the BI and all that. And it can cause a lot of problems between the relationship. In fact, sadly in some cases, it seems to have damaged some relationships. Very disappointed. A friend of mine and his wife split up. And we were very saddened by that. Anyway, that's another story. But basically, Jeff is brilliant at advice. And I can honestly say that. I'm 78 years of age. I've had a lot of
Yeah.
life experience. I used to be an electrician in my day as a trade. And Marilyn is way younger than me.
Yeah.
She's nearly 28 years almost younger than me. And she's had a few School of Hard Knocks
Yeah.
as well. But I know from past experience, Jeff is excellent.
Yeah.
He's excellent. He's experienced a lot of life. He's a lot younger than me, of course.
Yeah.
But he has experienced a hell of a lot of life.
Yeah.
And you know, good and bad stuff and all that, which he might explain to you at some stage. But he's put some great videos out about all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And trying to keep on top of the latest news that's coming out of
Yeah.
the Australian government and so on, and all that sort of thing. And then there's Myla. She's also great support too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's Remy. She's a great support. And Jeremy, Jeff's son, well, he's a great support too.
Yeah.
He took our case on and handled it from this end when we got to Queensland.
Yeah.
Because previously, you know, he lived in Queensland.
Ah, yeah.
And the weather up here is brilliant, like I
Yeah.
said. So there's a lot of pluses. Sydney's pluses would have been work, but I can tell you now, it's extremely difficult for accommodation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of the big, you know, things for long term that you have to look at. But Queensland is younger and it's quite good, and
Yeah.
fortunately we've not had hardly any lockdown here or for any length of time.
Yeah.
So get that out of the way. Back to business.
Yeah.
Down on the
This is it,
visa,
guys.
down on the visa, and all the staff,
You never stop
including,
talking.
yeah, I know, including the unnamed people who work for Jeff in the background.
Yes.
You know, it's brilliant.
Yes.
I'll
You're
tell you
awesome,
now.
guys.
It is really brilliant. I was a bit concerned at one stage because everything went silent, and I tended to forget the old saying in my day was, no news is good news.
Yeah.
So I tended to forget that, and I got a little bit impatient, and so I started to hassle a bit, which I shouldn't have done. But
Okay.
but we can all do that, and you guys who are much younger, or younger in your relationship
Yeah.
than us, you know, you may have a lot of stress and a lot of things and expenses, of course. You know, you've got to look at the, you know, pound, shillings and
Yeah,
pence as
okay.
well.
And
But in the end, you're going to get there. You are going to get there. And Jeff will make sure you get there. I'll tell you
Yes.
that now. Jeff and his team will
Slowly
make sure
but
you get
surely,
there. It
yeah.
might be slowly,
Yeah.
and it could be quicker than what you thought.
Yeah.
And in our case now, I got so used to this, you know, 10 rounds with Conor McGregor, you know, cage fighting, that
Yeah.
sort of thing, that, you know, emotionally speaking, I just went along with it all. And all of a sudden, here we go. 5 days ago, we get sent from Jeff
yep.
and the gang. Congratulations, not just the 820, but the 801
Yeah.
as well. And we thought that, you know, well, the 801 will take a bit longer as well,
Yeah.
and it's going to drag out. But it hasn't dragged out.
And
And even-
26 months, is it?
Yeah, 26 months.
6 months.
And even now, well, partly because of the shock of my son that got killed
Yeah.
back in Thailand, you know, I'm still coming to terms with it.
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't make any responses, more or less, on Facebook yet about the visas
Yeah.
or
Maybe
about anything.
we can post maybe tomorrow in Jeremy's page. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
Jeff
maybe,
Harris'
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
But like I say, I'm still coming to terms with it.
Yeah.
Especially being an old guy like me, you know, I'm used to the old knock around, you know, lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that, but it's fantastic. And I really not only publicly thank
Yeah.
Jeremy, and this is not a story,
Yeah.
it's a fact. Jeremy and the team work very hard,
Yeah.
and I can imagine they work very hard. We've been to visit them
Yeah.
before we came here
Yeah.
on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
And, you know, they do have your interests, our interests at heart. It's not just in a business.
Yeah.
Like, we were very tempted early days to, you know, go through a travel agent or something
and then
like
his son
that.
David as well, is it? His son David.
Oh, my son
Yeah.
David previously
Yeah.
got Jeff
Yeah.
to do his visa
Yeah.
for his wife
Yeah.
when they went from Malaysia to
To
here, Australia. So we've already, it's like a family affair
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
you know. And so anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I hope this video has been helpful to you. It's
Yeah.
very short. My wife does YouTube, so you know, we can put other stuff on.
Yeah.
Well, she's already done that on YouTube, but this is like, you know, personal, and it's a personal recommendation for Down Under visa. That's all I can say. So thank you again, Jeff,
Yeah.
and thank you for your expertise, and thank you for your patience with us.
Yeah.
And helping me to have patience with you guys.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say. Do you want to say some more?
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm very happy, guys, because it's a long time we wait. But
Yeah.
I can say Tagalog to my fellow Filipino.
Yeah, go on.
So, hindi ako masyadong nag-wait. Hindi ako masyadong nag-expect na dumating yung aking 820 and 801.
Yeah.
Because I keep busy myself, you know. I doing YouTube, we doing outside with Daddy. So I never expect too much, you know. So that's why when I got the news, I can't believe it. I don't know what to say, but thank you very much for very helpful DUB Down Under visa with Jeff and Jeremy and Mila and staff, of course. Thank you very much. You're awesome, guys. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank to the Lord.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
We do that too. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. If you want to contact us in any way, you're welcome to, you know. Because we live in Gladstone in Queensland, and
Yeah.
I have some old family down in Sydney as well,
Yeah.
and so on. So that's basically it. Yeah.
That's it.
So I say cheerio for now, and God bless you, and all the best. But keep heart, you'll get there.